This is the Old Musician's Blog, number 80. I wonder how many people are following the blockchain, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency saga at the present time. To me, it seems like everybody must be following it because there's so much information about it in my stream in one form or another, and because of my interest in it, as with many people at this time, I tend to watch, some of the popular commentators on this situation, and especially now they have a lot to say because Bitcoin is continuing to drop, and the FUD, as they say, is extending itself into the network ethosphere. And and the hodlers are hodling, and the fuddlers are fuddling, and I'm kind of waiting because I liked Ernie, the trader of futures. I like a lot of stuff from Ivan on tech too, but Ernie, the trader of futures, I think has the most cogent analysis of what's happening in the markets, because he uses this volumetric analysis, which bases it shows you the order flow and the volume, which are the two criteria that show you who is holding where. And I'm not following this terrifically closely because I'm not trying to become an investor or a trader, but I am waiting for certain price points that look good to me to enter into a small amount of probably Bitcoin, as it's the most widely held, and probably will signify what the market is doing for some time to come. And I have two price points, and I probably would buy small amounts. As I say, they're just really a kind of backup investment for me, as life is good here at the present time. And mostly my interest in the blockchain technology generally has more to do with the distributed ledger and the Byzantine fault tolerance and the ability to solve this double transaction problem that's caused people, organizations, to have to have these trusted third parties for escrow and banking and different kinds of things that they all take their cut out of. And so it's much, with the blockchain technology, is becoming possible to transact directly and have an indelible footprint, thumbprint, identity, time stamp, signature of where the what the transaction was and how it is. And of course, there's much debate on how this is going at the moment, and everyone thinks that sooner or later the institutional money will come in. But certainly that probably won't happen um, uh, until the regulations, which are now being fumbled into place, are solidified to a place where these organizations that have large capital funds will enter into the space. And they're starting to set up the infrastructure to do this right now. And I think that they will enter the space, certainly, but they will want to enter it at the best possible price for themselves. And so because this market is so easily manipulated, because it's still so small compared to other capital flows, that the market probably will be driven down further. And this makes sense to my way of thinking. And as this occurs, so we are entering a new trustless, feeless transaction of indelible identity. And I think this has a great deal to connect with the artificial intelligence sphere. Though I don't have the technical expertise to exactly say how that's done, but I have the intuition that these technologies are going to be very much connected, and they'll probably initially work their way in through the gaming sphere, and perhaps the pornography sphere is always a new adopter of the new technologies, and as sort of an undercurrent of development for these technologies that are willing to risk a new way of looking at things and doing things. And it's all, in a way, a form of gaming. So there's a lot of talk about the transactions, and how, Bitcoin will never be able to scale in its present form. And yet it's the most widely held of all the cryptos. And so, I think it's going to persist and exist into the future. And suddenly some other form, perhaps the hash graph or the tangle, that has a much faster rate of transaction, will enter these spheres, and I don't think they'll ever make the original Bitcoin core obsolete, but they certainly will change the nature of transactions in a global, worldwide condition.